Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 4 of the Forza Horizon 2 Let's Play. Now, last episode ended off a little weird because, again, glitches with the software. But I have figured out the issues and they should be fixed for this one, so hopefully we don't have any more unfortunate interruptions in this one. Now, you might be wondering, why am I in an Audi RS5? Well, the simple answer would be, I had like 30 minutes of just raw gameplay that was missing from the last episode, in which I finished the championship in the Fiesta, and then bought said RS5. Now we've started a Super Saloons championship, and I'm going to be racing in this, and apparently dealing with bad driver tars again. But in this video, I was going to continue what I was talking about in the last one, about the, past, current, and future of racing games. And I had a little more to say about Need for Speed, especially after looking at some of the comments in the last video. So I'd mentioned a lot about how I was really not a fan of current Need for Speed, and how I felt they're incredibly just monotonous, boring, and the games just aren't fun to play. And just that alone had me thinking about, okay, if I had full permission to create an ideal Need for Speed game, what would it be? Now, this may be a little bit of a controversial take, but when it comes to Need for Speeds, I've always preferred the games that were not open world and that were kind of like stage select. I'm talking like the original late 90s Hot Pursuit 2s, Need for Speed 3, like that is my jam. I absolutely love those games in terms of Need for Speed. And in my head, when I think Need for Speed, that's what comes up. A lot of people think about Underground 2, Most Wanted 2005, all of these games. But for me, those games are great, but open world and Need for Speed has never really mixed for me. Give me a car this time? 7,000? Oh, okay. Well, 7,000 credits. We still have 263,000. So we're still rolling in money. So now when I think about, take into consideration my favorite type of Need for Speeds, but also be realistic in terms of what's really popular these days, I kind of have two ideal Need for Speed kind of concepts in my head. First would be my ideal one, which when I think Need for Speed, I think supercars, high-speed open roads, and just incredibly difficult police chases. So my ideal concept would be a, select your own stage, like some of the original Need for Speeds and Hot Pursuit 2010. I'm just basing it kind of off of that. You don't start off with like the slowest of the slow cars, but Need for Speed has never really been about that, except for like the Underground and Most Wanted days. And that would kind of just be it for me. Need for Speed, when I think about it, it's all about fun, and that's it. It's not about like exploring this, open world and finding all these, great parts of the map. Controversial take. I just don't think Need for Speed has ever done an open world that well. I think if I had to think of a favorite Need for Speed world, it would be Seacrest County from Hot Pursuit 2010. I think that's my favorite Need for Speed map because it's just built around speed. Now the second concept would be kind of the generic one that I think most people would want, which would be, open world, tons of customization, decent story. I'm not expecting Need for Speed to have a great story. They've always just been kind of not good. But that's it for me on Need for Speed. I would love to hear from you guys on what your thoughts are. Like, if you had an ideal Need for Speed game, you had full creative freedom, what would you make it? That's what I want to hear from you guys. Alright, I think we have one more sprint race in this championship, and we are done with the Super Saloons Championship. Now, quick break before I get into some of the other games for the future of racing games. Forza Horizon 5 is, at the time of recording this, literally less than 2 weeks away. Which brings into question, what should I do with this series? Because I'm obviously going to want to cover Horizon 5. But I know there's a lot of people who want this game too. So in the comments, leave your suggestions on what you think we should do with Horizon 2. Let's spin for another wheel spin, I guess. 40 grand. Nice. What I could do is simply, just because the rest of this game is pretty much just doing championships over and over again, I can kind of just speed run through these championships, and then once I get closer to the end, just record the end, the finale, and stuff like that, and cut out some of the extra fluff in between. Now, continuing the topic, let's talk about Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown real quick. This is a game that I've been thinking a lot about recently, and my expectations and feelings about the games have changed a lot over time. What I am feeling is going to happen with TDUSC is a lot of people are going to be disappointed. Now, why do I say this? Simply because a lot of people are expecting TDU 3, and I can guarantee you this game, I don't think it will be this massive, groundbreaking, world-bending thing like a fully fledged TDU 3 would be. We have to be realistic here and keep our expectations just down to earth and not just absolutely up into the stratosphere like so many people are thinking with this game. We have to think realistically here. Small studio, not a huge amount of development time, and it's still a AA game, so this does not have like the budget of Forza, Need for Speed, like none of that. Even TDU 2's budget, I don't believe it even has that. And what I would love to see happen is for KT to prove us all wrong and create an absolute banger of a game. Because we need it. We need more open world, games, racing games specifically. But in order to not set ourselves up for disappointment, I'm purposely keeping my expectations at I think the game will be alright, but I don't think it will be absolutely world-bending. And like I just said, do I want them to prove me wrong? Absolutely I do. I want this game to show Forza Horizon that they have competition, because Forza Horizon has not had legitimate competition, like ever? Okay, Super Saloons Championship done. I'm not going to do that wheel spin just yet, but maybe I'll do it a little later. Now, wait, hang on. What is affordable in hypercars? What? It's going to be like the Noble or something? We can afford an Aventador? Yo. I knew the Noble would be here. I love the Noble. I don't think we're quite ready to do hypercars yet, so I'm just going to choose something else for now. But maybe we could do... Oh no, we already did modern supercars. I forgot. What about GT cars? What about the Super GTs Championship? Oh, this is really hard. Oh, the SLR is in here. See, I was gonna do the SL65 Black Series because I know that's not gonna be in Horizon 5, but the SLR is the SLR. And for me, the silver is great, but a black SLR is just perfection. I'm really, really liking this SLR here. This is a supercar that hasn't been featured in a ton of modern games. And it sucks because this thing is so cool. Really, really wicked. When Mclaren and Mercedes were, together in Formula 1. I mean, they kinda are now because, Mercedes supplies McLaren's engines, but this was a whole different era. Now, one thing I was going to talk to you all about is about, the next 2 to 3 weeks are going to be pretty damn crazy. There's Halloween, which is coming up pretty damn soon, and that is something that I'm kind of feeling like doing possibly a live stream on Halloween. If you have any ideas on what you would like me to do for a Halloween stream, leave them down in the comments below. I was thinking of doing a little, speed running a little Resident Evil 8, just messing around in that game, hanging out with chat, but yeah, leave your ideas down below. Now, Horizon 5's launch is shortly after Halloween. And this is when things start to get tricky, because there is a ton of really cool stuff that's going to be releasing around that time, one of which I'll discuss a little later on. But aside from that, it's just going to be interesting timing because, again, I'm working full time now. I'm not going to have as much time to make videos as I would love to, especially regarding Horizon 5. I'm going to be trying my absolute best to get out as much content as I can, but at the same time, I need to just straight up play the game, right? I can't, just be doing videos on it. I need to play it and enjoy it too. Especially when it comes for a review of the game, which it's looking like it's going to be a really long and quite in-depth review. I'm purposely not going to have a review out on launch day or launch week, just because I want to have like the definitive review of the game. So even if it comes out a month after launch, it's going to be the review of Horizon 5 and just one that will kind of satisfy everyone. First race in the SLR, let's go. Now I mentioned that November was going to be packed because of another game, and that game is one that is particularly exciting to me. And that would be the definitive editions of the GTA trilogy. This is my new approach to expecting games. I expected absolutely nothing from it, and I was very pleasantly surprised. I mean, I'm a hardcore fan of the GTA games, especially the trilogy, and out of the trilogy, especially San Andreas. That game will always be just incredibly special to me. And I think that these trilogies are getting a lot of criticism, and a lot of it is just stupid criticism. Let's start by saying, Rockstar, they initially said, when they, unveiled the trilogy, they said that they were working on it, and it would be true to the originals, but yet with a modern graphic style and feel. Everyone was like, perfect. Don't mess with the original, don't mess with the art style. We don't want to change too much. Rockstar, what they do is they don't mess with the art style too much. They bring it back into the sort of the modern era. It looks pretty damn good if you ask me. And they do pretty much the best that they could have done with a remaster without completely remaking the game like, let's say, Mafia 1 Definitive Edition. And the GTA community has never been more split. It's so funny seeing the exact same people who said, oh, don't mess with the games, they're perfect as they are. And then this comes out and they're like, why doesn't it look like GTA 5? It's like, man, come on. I mean, this comment here just showcases perfectly the GTA community right now. Ooh, we got a green wristband now. Nice. Going up in the world, huh? Oh my god, how many wheel spins are we gonna get? At least we got a car this time, and we have another wheel spin waiting for us. Oh my god. I'm calling it now. Horizon 2 gives you more wheel spins than any other Horizon game, and I think that's a fact. Now, another thing that people were majorly complaining about was some of the character models with the GTA trilogy, and the art style being too cartoony. And to that, I just say, like, have you played the originals? Like, the whole design of them was incredibly cartoony. Yes, the saturation's a little higher in the new stuff, but like, that's kind of to be expected when you're using models from 2001 to 2004. Like, I don't understand what people wanted Rockstar to do here. Now, if you were to ask me, are you happy with all of the changes that Rockstar has made? Well, to the game itself, yeah, I'm 100% satisfied here. I pretty much just expect like a resolution bump and like slightly better lighting, and that would be it. But this is really, really impressive. And so many people love to nitpick. I mean, this is the gaming community, right? Nitpicking. But I mean, let me show you some before and after pictures just now. I'll overlay them on the screen. I mean, the improvement is undeniable, if you ask me. I think a lot of people, especially when these games are their childhood, like, I mean, me, you have a certain view of these games, especially the ones that you spent the most time with, and you kind of tend to view them in a better light than you would if, let's say, you were to visit them like right now. That's why games like, especially GTA 3, I love that game, but if you play the original version, you know, it does not, it really does not age that well. And that's coming from me, a hardcore GTA, like, veteran. So, it's really, really good to see these improvements for me. And I think what's really going to sell this game is the gameplay improvements, because that's something that I know a lot of people had issues with the original versions, and this is really going to make these games a lot more playable, feel a lot more modern, you know, so you don't drift into the wall like I do. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to feel the new changes and improvements, and don't have long to wait. I mean, November 11th, so hell yeah, can't wait. So this episode, I kind of want to hear a lot from you guys, especially with some of the questions I asked, and I know I asked quite a few, so I'll just go over them from the start. So originally I asked, like, what would be your ideal Need for Speed game? I do have a feeling this one's going to have, I have a feeling I can predict where this one's going to go. But I kind of want to see if anyone has any similar answers to me, or just varying answers. I'm interested to see that. Next up would be, you know, what to do with, I mean, this series here, when Horizon 5 comes out. Do you think that I should just skip some of the fluff in between, like some of the extra championships, and then just straight up, you know, skip to the finale? Because, you know, that's the only way I can realistically think of doing it, because once Horizon 5 comes out, I can't do both. I cannot do both at the same time. It's just, it's not going to happen. It's one or the other, and I don't really want to be covering Horizon 2 when Horizon 5 is out. But yeah, leave your suggestions on what you think I should do. And then just kind of bonus question, you know, if you feel like it. There's a lot of questions today, but how do you feel about the GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition? I know I'm super happy with it, but I know a lot of people aren't, and I want to hear a legitimate reason why. So let's finish off by picking our next car. You know, I really do like me a bit of muscle. Let's check me the retro first. Oh, I really, really like these cars. Oh, so many good options. Viper or Cobra R? That is the question. And I'm going to take too long to decide. So I'm going to decide in meantime between the next episode. And I'll see you guys once we have picked our car and in episode 5.